Hello, my amazing learners. I'm so excited that you're here because today we're going to talk about something incredibly important: daily English speaking practices. You may be feeling a little bit frustrated with your progress right now. Perhaps you've been learning English for a while, but when it comes to speaking, it's still a challenge. Maybe you freeze up in conversations, or your mind goes blank when you need to say something in English. This is a struggle many language learners face. But guess what? I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be this way. Speaking English fluently is something you can achieve if you practice daily and follow a few key strategies that I'm going to share with you. So let's dive in, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll feel motivated, inspired, and ready to take on the world of English speaking with confidence. Before we jump into the solutions, let's take a moment to acknowledge the struggle. Why does speaking English feel so hard sometimes? After all, you've spent so much time learning grammar, vocabulary, and listening to English. But when it comes to speaking, everything seems to slow down. I know exactly how that feels. When I first started speaking English, I often found myself hesitating, stumbling over words, and feeling embarrassed to speak. I remember a time when I was in a group conversation and I couldn't get the sentence out. I'd heard the word a million times, but in that moment, it felt like I'd forgotten everything. Why is it so hard to speak? It's because speaking is an active skill. It's different from reading or writing. Speaking involves real-time thinking, reacting, and interacting. And in a foreign language, this can sometimes feel overwhelming. Also, there's the fear of making a mistake, saying something wrong, or not being understood. That fear can paralyze you and make speaking seem like a mountain too high to climb. But here's the good news. We can conquer that fear together. Now let's talk about the solution: daily English speaking practices. You see, fluency doesn't come from studying grammar books or memorizing vocabulary alone. It comes from speaking every day. Consistency is key. And the best part? You don't need to speak for hours to see improvement. Even short, daily practices can make a huge difference. Let me share a little secret. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes. Let's break this down into practical steps so you can start speaking with confidence every day. First, when I started speaking English, I made the mistake of trying to practice for hours, thinking that was the only way to improve. But here's the thing: quality over quantity. Speaking for just 5 minutes a day can do wonders for your fluency. For example, I used to set a timer for 5 minutes and just talk about my day in English. I'd say things like, "Today was a good day. I woke up early, went to the gym, and had coffee with my friend." Simple, but it forced me to use English actively. The more I did it, the easier it became. Start with simple topics like your daily routine or what you're doing in the moment. These conversations don't need to be perfect. They just need to happen every day.
Next, one of the most powerful ways to improve your speaking is by practicing with a partner. Find someone you can speak with regularly, whether it's a friend, a tutor, or even an online language exchange partner. practicing with someone else will help you get used to real conversations and different speaking styles. I remember the first time I spoke with a native English speaker online. I was so nervous, but I knew that this was the real deal. It wasn't a textbook conversation. It was real, spontaneous, and I had to think quickly. It wasn't always perfect, but we understood each other, and that's all that mattered. The more I practiced with others, the more my confidence grew. Use platforms like HelloTalk, Tandem, or even YouTube communities to find language exchange partners. Speak with them as much as possible. Sometimes we get so focused on using the right vocabulary or grammar that we forget about pronunciation and intonation. But these are just as important if you want to speak confidently. When I first started speaking English, I made many pronunciation mistakes. I didn't realize how important it was to stress the right syllables or use the correct rhythm when speaking. Over time, I started mimicking native speakers from movies or podcasts. I'd listen to their sentences, pause, and repeat after them, trying to match their rhythm and tone. For instance, listen to a sentence like, "I'm going to the store." Notice how native speakers often stress the words going and store. This makes the sentence sound natural. When you practice like this, you'll sound more like a native speaker, and you'll feel more confident while speaking. Pick a short audio clip or video and repeat it several times, focusing on how the speaker pronounces each word. Do this daily, and it will help you sound more fluent. Recording yourself can be uncomfortable at first, but it's a powerful tool to improve your speaking. When you listen to yourself, you can hear mistakes that you might not notice while speaking. You'll also be able to track your progress over time. For example, I used to record myself talking about random topics, then listen to the recording. At first, I cringed. I sound so awkward. But as I kept listening to my recordings, I began to notice areas where I could improve. My pronunciation, my use of filler words like or like, and my overall fluency. It might not sound perfect at first, but don't let that discourage you. You are improving every day, and that's what matters. Use your phone or computer to record a 1 to 2 minute speech every day. Pick a topic or tell a story. The goal is to listen to yourself and track your improvement. One of the best ways to practice speaking English is to use it in real-life situations. Try to speak English whenever possible. Whether you're ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or chatting with a friend. When I started using English in daily life, I noticed something amazing. I stopped translating from my native language and started thinking directly in English. It felt so much more natural. I remember the first time I had a conversation with a stranger in English, asking for directions. I was nervous, but once I started speaking, everything flowed easily. And guess what? I wasn't perfect, but I was proud of myself for taking action. Look for opportunities to speak English every day, even if it's just small interactions. These real-world moments will help you gain confidence.
So, my wonderful learners, here's the final truth. Daily practice is the secret to speaking English fluently and confidently. Start small, stay consistent, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every step you take is progress, and I'm here to cheer you on every step of the way. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment, hit like, and share your thoughts with me. What are your daily English speaking practices? Let's keep growing together, one day, one conversation at a time. You've got this. Keep going.